This is the Hardy Resonate, and it's the lightest fly reel in the Hardy lineup. And today, I'm here to review it. If you were one of the Hardy fans who, like myself, was pretty upset when you heard about the Ultra Click getting discontinued, fear not. They have now released the brand new Resonate. And while this may be an entirely new reel in name, if you look at it, you might notice that it looks almost exactly the same as the old Ultra Click. And well, that's because it is. Even down to the color, which is probably not quite exactly the same, but it's virtually the same, and certainly from 50 feet away, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between this and the outgoing reel. And overall, I'd say that's a pretty good thing. The old Ultra Click was a great reel. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it did it well. And frankly, I expect this new Resonate to do pretty much the same thing. But to find out, we're gonna go through our 5 factors, starting with the drag. Like the Ultra Click, this Resonate is a click pawl reel, and it does not have a drag. So this is gonna be a pretty short section. It does, however, have a click adjustment knob here. I think that's actually a pretty important feature on this reel. Think about modern high-performance click pawl reels, of which there are now quite a few. This one is the only one that actually has an adjustment knob. And while I'll touch on this a little bit more later, this adjustment knob actually isn't really that great for adjusting it. It does give you some adjustment that you can use in real time on the water. So if you hook into a fish that is bigger than you expected, you can tighten down that click mechanism and keep that line from backlashing. How well that works, I think, is yet to be seen, but in theory, you still have that there. And that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much it for the drag, so let's move on to the spool. And the spool, like I sort of mentioned already, is great. It has a modern large arbor, which means you're gonna get pretty good fast retrieval rates. This spool here on this 4000 size, which is gonna be your standard 3, 4, 5 reel, has a max diameter of 3.5 inches, a nice narrow width of 0.8 inches, and a max arbor of 2.4 inches. And that's gonna yield a retrieval rate of about 8.3 inches per turn, or 145 turns or so for that 100-foot fly line. Ultimately, that is solid modern performance. However, it is not the absolute category leader. For that, you'd probably have to go to something like the Lamson Purist. But overall, you're still getting really fairly high performance out of this click pawl reel. If that's what you're looking for, this one should definitely be on your list. In terms of backing capacity, Hardy actually states that this only holds about 55 yards with a 4-weight. However, when we measured it, we found that it holds about 125 yards with a 5-weight. I would probably not put all that 125, maybe stick to something like 100 yards, but it's definitely gonna be more than that 55 yards. And now let's move on to the weight, and the weight on this new Resonate is really light, just like the Ultra Click was, and it comes in at 2.85 ounces, which puts this reel at just about the lightest fly reel out there. And frankly, that's what Hardy was going for with the Ultra Click, and this is no different, and it is fantastically light. There are some other reels out there that are this light. However, this reel has a trick in that it is a full cage reel. Why anybody would absolutely need a full cage reel that is this light, I'm not quite sure. But if you're that one person, this is absolutely the reel for you. Before we continue, I wanted to let you know about Trident Travel, our new destination travel service where you'll get our expert planning and guidance at no additional cost. That means no credit card fees, no booking fees, and for a limited time, you'll even earn Trident rewards on your travel bookings. So for every trip you book, you'll be earning valuable points that you can use towards free tackle here at Trident. Recently, we've had some clients go on some absolutely fantastic trips, like salmon fishing in British Columbia, bone fishing in Belize, and Arctic char fishing in Iceland. So if you're thinking about taking a fly fishing trip, Trident Travel is the way to do it. We've got a ton of great destinations, excellent service, and even more destinations being added every month. Check us out at tridentflyfishing.com/travel. Up next is sound, and let's take a listen. As you can tell, this is a fairly nice sounding reel. It's definitely not a Hardy perfect. However, it sounds pretty good, and most importantly, you get a really nice differentiation between the incoming and the outgoing. And you get that really nice loud outgoing that I think is really important for a click Paul reel, and definitely even more important for a Hardy. And last but not least are the ergonomics, and I haven't rewatched my UltraClick review, but I'm guessing I probably dinged it a little bit on the ergonomics, and they didn't really fix it here on this new reel. You've got a handle that, in my opinion, is borderline usable because it's so short. You really have a tiny handle and barely enough surface to grip. Similarly, like I sort of hinted at earlier, the click adjustment knob here is also actually pretty hard to grab. Luckily, there's really no pressure to deal with, so it's not really a problem per se, but it's definitely not something that's functionally easy to grab. And if you were in the heat of the moment, really fighting a big fish and trying to palm it, you would want to really be fumbling around with it. Pretty much anything that was a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to grab would be a lot better. And last but not least is going to be the price. And the price on this Hardy Resonate comes in at $330. That's actually a little bit cheaper than some of the competitors. The Lamps & Purist starts at about $370, and frankly, this does save you a little bit of money if that's what you're looking for. That said, there's probably some UltraClicks that are on sale still when you see this video, and I'd probably go gobble those up instead. This reel is functionally the same and really doesn't offer much over that old UltraClick, so if you can get a deal on one, I'd get one while you can. However, if you're watching this video and it's too late to get a deal on the UltraClick, I think you'll be really happy with this reel. Unfortunately, from a value perspective, this has gotten pretty expensive, but it is really ultra light and does have that full cage, and I think most importantly, does offer some click adjustment, which none of the competitors in this segment do. Tell us what you think about this new Hardy Resonate by leaving us a comment in the box below. And if you've got questions about this reel or any reel in the Hardy lineup, give us a call at 888-413-5211 or email us 24/7 at support@tridentflyfishing.com. I'm Ben. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.